everyone, we're going to evaluate this definite integral given over the interval 0 to 1. So we'll get started. We're going to use this formula or this one for our definite integrals. We're just going to go from A to B. So we're going to find, using this, our u. We're going to choose that to be r squared. I'll explain that in a minute. We're going to let, therefore, dv portion be r divided by square root of 4 plus r squared dr. And therefore, our derivative of u is going to be 2r dr, and the antiderivative of this portion is just going to be square root of 4 plus r squared. And that's why I broke the r's up the way I did, so it's much easier to take the antiderivative of this portion here. Okay, so now we since we have everything, we can just fill it in, and we'll have this equals, and I'm going to move it way over here, r squared times the square root of 4 plus r squared. This is going to be from 0 to 1 minus the integral from 1 to 0 of r times the square root of 4 plus r squared dr. All right, so for this first piece, let's go ahead and evaluate that. If I plug in 1, I'm just going to get square root of 5. And when you substitute your 0, you're just going to get 0. So that's minus 0 there. All right. For this piece, I'm going to take the antiderivative of this. Now this, we're going to just ignore the r and look at it this way. 4 plus r squared to the 1/2. You add 1, and that's going to be 3/2. This is 3/2. If you pull this up, this 3/2 up, that's going to end up being 2/3. So that's going to be minus the integral. Oh, we forgot the 2r. There's supposed to be a 2 there because I forgot to put the 2. Sorry about that. So we're going to we have our minus 2 there. And again, now if you differentiate this, if you differentiate 2/3 4 plus r squared to the 3/2, you'll get this back. So that's why when I first did, I just ignored the r, because you'll get the r back. Now we'll get, this is going to be 2, and then we have our 2/3 times 4 plus r squared to the 3/2. And I'm going to take this interval out. And this is going to be evaluated from, let's minus this. I'm going to pull the 2/3 out. So let me pull the 2/3 out. If you pull the 2/3 out, you get minus 2/3 times this piece from 1 to 0. I don't want to have to keep using the 2/3. So now we have square root of 5 minus 2/3 times 5 to the 3/2 plus 2/3 times 8. This is going to give you square root of 5 times 1 minus 10 divided by 3 plus 16/3. And finally, when you simplify this, you'll get 16/3 minus 7/3 square root of 5. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.